Deceit, subversion, and cunningness. Suppose I were to rank a country based on these three attributes, Britain would top the chart every single time. And specifically during the period of World War II, they were on their A game. After all, they had an evil maniacal man with a short mustache to defeat, right? No, not this guy. Him. All is fair in love and war. But let us imagine this for argument's sake, that if you were alive during that period, how well do you think you would have fared against the ingeniously crafted British deception? After all, we live in the modern era, armed with the abundance of easily accessible information and the wisdom garnered from it. Separating wheat from chaff would be a child's play, right? What if I told you you are wrong? So wrong, in fact, that you've managed to fall for the very propaganda that was concocted almost a century ago. A subversion that was designed to deceive the Germans during World War II is still as effective as the day it was created. And unknowingly, you might still be echoing its narrative to this very day. So let's unravel the biggest myth in human history that was created out of propaganda. And yes, it is about carrots. So let us look at an example of a British deception during World War II. Now, I could have easily glanced over this section by just mentioning the word enigma, as I know most people are already aware of the extraordinary exploits of brilliant minds at Bletchley Park. Even though it was a Pole who first conceived the concept of breaking the enigma, that it effectively reduced the duration of the war by 2 years. I might be bold enough to compare it with the nuke drops on Japan. So let's start our meal with some tasty appetizers. And in today's menu, we have Operation Mincemeat. No, that was not a food pun, that is the actual name of the operation. It all started in 1943, when the Allied forces were planning the invasion of Sicily. But in order to fool the Germans on the true target of the invasion, a dead body disguised as an intelligence officer named Major Martin was planted off the coast of Spain with falsified documents, hoping the Germans would relocate their reinforcements based on this intelligence. In order to ascertain that the Germans would fall for this deception, they went on to extraordinary lengths to create a falsified history of the dead body. These included a photograph of Major Martin's fiancée, a receipt for an engagement ring, a theatre ticket stub, and other evidence. The invasion of Sicily was launched on July 9, 1943, and as intended, proved to be a huge surprise to the German defenders. In just over a month, the Allies fully captured the island, and the lack of reinforcement had proven to be the deciding factor in the success. Mincemeat had been well and truly swallowed. So with that bit of knowledge, let's dig into our main course. Now, in order to understand how the deception of the carrots was used, we need to understand what they were trying to hide. In 1940, as the Battle of Britain got underway, there was no real history of military battles being played out mainly in the air. But that was all about to change. The German Luftwaffe focused its attention on the UK, sending waves of bombers to take down strategic locations, preparing for an eventual Nazi invasion of the British Isles. To begin with, the German bombers made the flight over the English Channel in broad daylight, but found the resistance from the RAF, a much smaller air force, to be far greater than what they anticipated. The British spotters were able to see the bombers coming and alert the RAF with brilliant efficiency, which made bombing runs less successful than what the Germans would have wished for. The solution was to stop bombing runs in the daytime and start sending bombers over the channel at night. This potentially would remove the effectiveness of the spotters and would allow the German bombers to be on their target quicker than the RAF could react. To their complete surprise, there was little difference, as the RAF was still able to scramble interceptors to attack the bombing runs. But how could the British military possibly know where the bombers were if they couldn't see them coming? Well, in addition to cracking Germans' enigma, the greatest minds of Britain had also been able to develop something that would change aerial warfare forever. No, not this. They had created a radar system, which stands for radio detection and ranging, that could detect any movement in the sky, day or night. Radar towers had been constructed across the entire English Channel. By 1940s, they had even managed to build lightweight radar systems that were just as effective, so they could be installed in their own surveillance aircrafts. This technology gave the RAF a significant advantage against the Luftwaffe and was one of the main reasons for the eventual victory in the Battle of Britain. Radar could be used to detect and locate incoming enemy aircraft. It worked by sending out radio waves that would bounce off solid objects at a distance, similar to how bats navigate through their surroundings. This allowed British operators to estimate the distance, direction, strength, and the altitude of the incoming waves of German bombers. It was a crucial part of the Dowding system, Britain's highly effective and sophisticated air defense network. RAF Fighter Command was able to respond to incoming German attacks and use its precious and far lesser resources of pilots and aircraft to the best possible effect. Radar wasn't always accurate, and it didn't produce a complete picture of the incoming threat. Hence, additional intelligence was provided by traditional observers. Its effectiveness also depended on the skills and judgment of the operators employed to interpret the signals. But by the end of the Battle of Britain, it was seen as a success. And even to this day, radar is used as a tool both in civil and military aviation to navigate and detect potential threats. The advantage radar provided was quite evident, but in order to keep it effective, they needed a way to keep it a secret from the Germans. So the British intelligence came up with a plan. They asked their Ministry of Information to place posters across England which stated, "Carrots keep you healthy and help you see even in the blackout." The country was placed under nighttime blackouts, which was a less secretive way to disrupt the German bombers from hitting their intended targets. This worked twofold. It placed doubt in the minds of German intelligence, who wondered if the British had actually discovered some scientific use for the carrots that was literally helping their spotters see the German planes in the black night sky. It also helped to promote the humble carrot to the population, who were under strict rationing at that time. Carrots were easy to grow in the UK, had great nutritional value, and were readily available to almost everyone. It is easy to see why the British public might have been a little tired of eating the orange vegetable, but claiming they helped you see in the dark, especially when there are nightly blackouts across the country, had changed the public's perception. So rather than some miracle properties inside a common garden vegetable, the British had advanced military technology. But did this piece of propaganda actually work? And why is it still a well-known myth even to this day? Now, there was no true evidence that the German intelligence actually believed in the myth, but the German population definitely seemed to buy into it, with the popularity of carrot-based cuisine surging in popularity during the war. It was actually in Britain and other allied countries like the US where the story took hold. American newspapers even went on to print recipes from the British ministry and encouraged their own people to try them out, to gain the benefits of the carrots for themselves. Somewhere along the line, this transformed from a wartime story to help see during blackouts to more of a story used to encourage children to eat their veggies. Carrots became associated with rabbits, perhaps due to cartoon characters and because they were a common treat given to pet rabbits. Since rabbits are nocturnal creatures, the story became more about carrots helping rabbits see in the dark, and therefore making generation after generation of kids want to eat carrots and somehow see in the dark. What many people still don't understand is that this isn't a simple myth used to make children eat healthily, and that it stems from the British government needing to conceal their true secret weapon in one of their darkest hours. If it weren't for radar and for it being hidden from German intelligence, the outcome of the Battle of Britain and World War II as a whole could have been wildly different. So let me know in the comments below when you discovered that carrots wouldn't actually help you see in the dark. And if you didn't know that the story started during World War II, hit the like button. Let me know that you've learned something from today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.